game of the week on Southfield Cable 15. The 1-2 Warriors of Southfield A&T visiting Southfield Christian, who sits at 8-1 on the season right now. The keys to the game for Southfield A&T: stay focused, use athleticism, control the ball in rallies, and on the Eagles side, create those first ball kills, use a balanced attack, and put together plays from scratch. Your key players for today on the Warriors: Deanna Marie, number 2, the senior. We'll definitely see her get involved in the offense. In the blue and red, Krista Blakely, number 6, the junior for the Warriors. She was certainly a key player last year as a sophomore and looking to back that year up as a junior. On the Eagles side, Kaylin Ray in the blue jerseys with white trim today for the Eagles. Number 5 and number 2, we'll see quite a bit of her, Emily Van Dyke, the outside hitter, a sophomore with excellent promise and potential. The Warriors, the Eagles, coming up next on Southfield Cable 15.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. What? Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Up official Brenda Germain, down official Pat Zaire. The visiting Warriors of A&T looking to get to 500 on the season, currently sitting at 1-2. And the home Eagles sitting pretty at 8-1, looking to continue what has been a magnificent start to this year. Very intimate, intimidating crowd here at Southfield Christian High School, but it's Jasmine Smith getting us underway with an ace, libero in the pink uniform for the Warriors. One of the senior leaders, she'll put in another one, and that time it sails long on her to knot things up. Best of 5 sets here as Kirsten Mitchell will take the serve for the Eagles. A free ball goes over. Here's the set. It went to Van Dyke. She couldn't quite get it over the block. They'll go back to her. Kind of had to get a sloppy one over. Kayla Beatty got it where she wanted to. And it was number 7, Taylor Moore, the senior, able to kind of just put an off-speed touch over. Grace McFerrin couldn't quite find it. But that time the serve goes right into the mesh of the net. Point Eagles. A couple of service errors have given Southfield Christian all of their points thus far. Early on here in set 1. The setter, number 11, Rachel Steitler, put that one in. Diving on the floor there was Kayla Beatty. Point awarded to the Eagles as Smith's swing went array into the antenna. On the serve to the Warrior side. That goes again into the mesh. Another error. Errors hurting the Warriors early on. It was Miriam Williams that time who couldn't quite put it over. Another senior, one of 10 seniors on that Warrior roster. Rachel Steitler, the sophomore. She puts a nice serve over, and that'll be an ace off the hands of the Warriors. And a 5-2 lead now for the Eagles. They jump out to a 3-point lead. It'll go back to Steitler. I mentioned she was a sophomore. One of the tandems we'll look for tonight is her and Van Dyke. They really have an uncanny ability to connect with each other. Another point awarded to the Eagles there, and they're off to a nice start. 6-2 now on a bit of a run here in the first set as Coach William Reed looks on. Steitler puts another one over. 3 popped up in play, and another point will go to the Eagles on a call from the up official Brenda Germain. Seven to 2 Eagle lead, first set here at Southfield Christian High School. Jasmine Smith over the net. Miriam Williams sent it over. Steitler, cross court Van Dyke, a little off speed. And a nice play there from the setter, Kayla Beatty. The senior setter on the Warrior side goes cross court. Diving for it on an attempt to no avail was Steitler. And now Miriam Williams will put us in play. 7-3 Eagle lead now. Steitler, cross court. And that's good for a kill from Grace Sanders, the junior. The only junior on the active roster for the Eagles. Puts one past the block, and you better be ready if you're in the back row and that swing gets through the block. Here's Van Dyke. Nice flat serve. Running out of play to get that one was Beatty, and point will be awarded to the Eagles. 9-3 now. Southfield Christian lead, jumping out to a beautiful start here in the first set. An ideal start, definitely, for head coach Mike Van Dyke. Although the officials will get together here and discuss that last play we showed you. Up official Brenda Germain, and walking over was down official Pat Zaire. They conversed and they kept it the way they initially called it. 9-3 Eagle lead. Another serve from Van Dyke goes in. Here's Mitchell come in from the back row to get that. And a swing, but into the block from number 5, Kaylin Ray. A nice job from the Warriors there. Deanna Marie was in, along with Beatty. Nice little double stuff block. It was really a solo from Beatty. She's had an impact here early on, trying to get her team back in it. Steitler. Over from McFerrin. Now they'll go up to Blakely. And couldn't quite get that one over. Right into the block from the Eagles. Into the antenna, rather, just into the net. Awkward swing there. It went down on her. And McFerrin will have the opportunity to serve now for the Eagles. And her serve goes right into the mesh. So it's a 5-point Eagle lead now. Best 3 out of 5 sets on the varsity level. A thrilling JV game earlier here at Southfield Christian that put these fans on their feet. This point will be awarded to the Eagles, and the enthusiasm is carried over. Just not expecting that one to come down. A double hit called on Blakely. This one goes back over. Jasmine Smith is there. She'll have to send over a free ball. Mitchell, Steitler, over to Ray, and she puts it past the block, going cross court, diving, trying to get there with Smith. But it's Ray who wins the day, the senior, who had 8 kills and 5 digs against Plymouth. You can now watch Cable 15 anywhere you have internet access. Just go to the City of Southfield's website, click on Cable 15 and hit the Cable 15 Live tab. Watch Cable 15 live on your mobile device, tablet, or computer. Back here with the Eagles holding a 7-point lead over the visiting Warriors. First of 2 in a row on the road for the Warriors. Rivalry match against Oak Park next up. Steitler goes cross court, and point will go to the Warriors. Looking to get to 500 for the first time this season. They lost their opener. It was a thriller to West Bloomfield. And then they dropped one to North Farmington before beating Ferndale. A tough task on hand tonight for Southfield A&T, though, facing a Eagle team led by Coach Mike Van Dyke, who has had great success during his time. They get one down there. Diving was the daughter of Coach Van Dyke, Emily Van Dyke. But the Warriors pull within 5. Krista Blakely serving. Puts a nice flat one over. This one goes up. A swing from Mitchell into the block, and the A&T bench up trying to get their team ignited. That time the solo block from Mecca Duggett, the senior middle hitter, doing her job well there, and now the Warriors pull within 3. A little mini run from the Southfield A&T side. Volleyball is the pure definition of a momentum-driven sport. It can change really at any time. Talent level varies, but that A&T bench trying to get their team back into this one, and they're doing a nice job here. Having to throw one back off of one hand with Steitler. The Eagles do get it over, though. Beatty sets it up. Miriam Williams tried to get one down. A nice dig from Mitchell. Excellent defensive ability from the libero Mitchell, but this run continues on the Warriors' side. The visiting team pulls within 2 now. That serve goes into the mesh. Their 3rd service error of this first set will aid the Eagles as Kennedy Smith walks onto the court. The defensive specialist / libero for the Warriors. We see Jasmine Smith at that libero now, but it's great when you have 2 players who can really sit back there and 2 players you can rely on. We see Jasmine Smith diving to the floor there. A couple of contacts from Smith on that last rally, but number 5, that's Kaylin Ray putting it over. We talked about her in the pregame, and her impact felt on the A&T side there as both Smith and both of the Smiths, I almost said Smith and Jasmine Smith and Kennedy Smith, manning that back row for the Warriors. Mitchell, Steitler, they go cross court to Van Dyke, a play that we'll see quite often. That point awarded to the Warriors as it went right into the antenna, or awarded to the Eagles rather. 15-10, Eagle lead now. Serve put over, Bailey is there. And that did not catch the line from Miriam Williams. 6-point lead now for the Eagles here in this opening set. We go to 25 in each set, aside from a potential 5th that will go to 15 if we make it that far, as that serve sails on Southfield Christian. Ooh, that was narrow. But it will be point awarded to the Warriors, and there's an ace. Just not going away. These Warriors, they pulled within 2 at one point. They trail by 4 now. It's Smith serving. She puts it in. There for the dig was Grace Sanders. On to the Warriors side of the net. Miriam Williams. Steitler runs over. Van Dyke couldn't get a clean hit off. Bailey. And that kill. A blast. Cross court and catches the line. A beautiful swing there going up Deanna Marie. She brings the emotion and energy to that Warriors side. The senior, she's truly an invaluable asset, as another service error, though, continuing to hurt the Warriors. Coach William Reed, along with his wife, assistant coach Mary Reed, will certainly want to clean up on those errors. Speaking of errors, the Warriors will get a point back off a serve that goes way long from the Eagles. And that point awarded to the Warriors. They pull within 2 now. Southfield A&T coming off their first win of the season versus Ferndale. Was a 4-set victory. And that one down the line. Van Dyke looking to get her team pumped back up, hoping to finish off this set in clean fashion as they hold the lead. That one wide from Deanna Marie, who came over from that middle position, but unable to get any kind of accuracy on that swing. 19-15 Eagle lead now. Tapped over, Mitchell. A nice effort, sliding to the grounds, and it was the hit, though, from Grace Sanders that didn't quite make its way over the net. That hit came from Kaylin Ray. Correction. Cross court dug it, and she puts down the kill. Krista Blakely, rather. They'll need her, and they'll need quite a bit of production from her. We've seen it so far in the first set. Looking to rally here are the Warriors. They just won't go away, but another service error will put the Eagles 5 points away from claiming this first set. Southfield Christian coming off a 27-win, 8-loss, 3-tie season where they were 6-4 in the conference, looking to build on that season with a very diverse roster in terms of experience. Although Coach Mike Van Dyke has quite a bit of confidence in the team that he puts out on the floor. Warriors pull within 2 yet again. Back-to-back service errors. These teams just keep helping each other out and hurting each other, hurting their own side. As serving here will be Grace McFerrin for the Eagles. Gets some nice depth on that serve into the back row. Blakely puts it over. Van Dyke on to Ray. Smith with a swing that went deep. Steitler was there to stymie that attempt. And just barely catching the line, almost like a drop shot there in tennis. Put over from the Eagles. Not expecting. And we'll get our first timeout of the match. Follow Cable 15 Sports on Twitter to find out when the next game will be covered, the time the game will air, scores, and highlights. Hashtag Cable 15 Sports. And since you're already on Twitter, check out Cable 15 Sports Instagram page to see photos of the game as well. Tonight's match, a compelling crosstown rivalry. And it's the Eagles who hold the first set lead right now. 3 points away from claiming the first set lead. Make it 2 off the error into the net. Again, that'll be a point of emphasis between sets to clean up those errors really on both sides. Oh, it was a kick save, I believe, on the Eagles side. Kaylin Ray. That was Kalaj Rice, the freshman, who put it over. With a high degree of difficulty on that shot. Eagles now a point away from finishing this one off, but Krista Blakely keeps her team in the set. If anyone's going to keep you in a set, it'll be Blakely. Serve will come in from the setter, Kayla Beatty. They'll go back to Ray. And the Eagles will close out this first set, 25-19. They'll switch sides, and coaches will go into discussion. It was a hard-fought first set. Effort on both sides. The Warriors wouldn't go away, but able to finish it off were the Eagles. Set 2 coming up next on Cable 15 Sports.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Back with set number 2 on Cable 15. The Eagles took the first set, and they'll serve to start off the second. Goes off the forearms of Jasmine Smith. It's Aoife Butler putting it down. For the second consecutive set, Warriors take the first point. That time Butler, another senior, and that time just kind of flopped over the tape of the net. And the Warriors off to a 2-0 start now here in set number 2. Jasmine Smith back to serve. She has a profound impact on this team. That time an error into the net though, and it'll go back to the Eagles side. You wonder what both coaches went over in between sets. We'll see what kind of impact, what kind of differences we see on the floor here in the second set. I believe they awarded point to the, that was a tight one. Did it catch the end line or did it not? We'll go point Warriors 3-1. And they'll hold serve here. That time wide though, a service error. And the Warriors will just have to make sure they don't let the Eagles claw right back into this one from those errors. That's been the occurring theme thus far in the match. Both teams have had errors, but for the most part, they favored Southfield Christian. As the sophomore Rachel Steitler is back to put this one in play. Aoife Butler goes down to get it off the forearms of Jasmine Smith. Back over to Butler. Over the net. Here's Mitchell to set up. And unable to get that one over was Grace Davis, the senior. Davis on the right side of the floor for the Eagles. Another service error, and you start to see a little bit of frustration on the faces now of the Warrior players as that'll cut the lead down to 1. Van Dyke back to serve now. That one pushed over from Smith. And the swing from Kaylin Ray goes long. Ray, the senior, who had 8 kills and 5 digs versus Plymouth. Those 8 kills were second to Van Dyke's 10. Very versatile, utility type of player is Kaylin Ray. Van Dyke puts it over. Bately. And point will be awarded there to the Warriors on the swing from Blakely, who goes cross court that time. Kirsten Mitchell couldn't quite make her way over there. The effort Mitchell gives, though, certainly rubs off on the rest of the Eagles. Popped up a nice awareness shown there from Deanna Marie. This time it's Steitler going to Ray, and point awarded to the Warriors. Communication down that bench for the Warriors as libero Jasmine Smith now resting on that bench. McFerrin hits one right into the block. Blakely was there along with Duggett, but the solo block to Blakely. And Deanna Marie will serve this one in. Popped up Steitler. Van Dyke sends over a free ball. Tapped over and point awarded. Spoke of that drop shot in the first set. To kind of use a tennis analogy there. Attempting on the pancake dig, though, was Ray. Showing some good hustle, hitting the deck. That one off the tape of the net and out. Point awarded to the Eagles. That 8-4 was the Eagles' largest deficit of the match thus far. As serving in is Grace McFerrin. Point awarded to the Eagles. They trim it now down to a 2-point lead here in set number 2. Southfield Christian grabbed the opener, and McFerrin will again put it in play. Aoife Butler dumping that one over was Mecca Duggett. A nice job to catch the line there. Steitler started moving to her left, looking for something potentially in the middle, but beautiful location on the hit from Duggett. Yet another service error. As we'll see, Grace Sanders trot onto the floor for the Eagles. Sanders, the junior. Smith sends one over, and it was a swing that had some oomph on it. Possibly unexpected in that back row. They only got one block attempt over. It was Kalaj Rice. She wasn't anywhere near it, and Grace Sanders had to deal with that one all on her own. Another point awarded to the Warriors, looking to continue this momentum flow. The key will be not to derail it, though, from errors. They get another nice serve over here. Ray over the net, back to the Warriors side. Van Dyke is there in the back row. Coming in here was Ray, and she gets some nice depth on that swing. It's a 3-point Warrior lead now. The Eagles started their season with a win over Everest Collegiate for the second season in a row. The Eagles started 8-1 and won last year. This year again, 8-1. The Eagles are coming off their first loss of the season, though. The Warriors would love to give them their first losing streak of the season. Coach Van Dyke told me before the game that it'll be certainly important that they bounce back here on their home floor as Aoife Butler hits one into the block. A nice block there from the Warriors. Van Dyke tried to go off speed. Beautiful effort from Smith. And that might have caught the line. What's the call? They'll give the point to the Warriors. And that'll extend the lead to 5. This Eagle crowd certainly unhappy with that, but it did somehow catch the line. Beatty, I'm not sure she thought that one caught the line. It was narrow. It was close, but Jasmine Smith will be back to serve here. Her serve into the mesh of the net. 13-9 Warrior lead now. McFerrin comes in for Kalaj Rice on the Eagle side. Mitchell back to serve. Down official Pat Zaire having a conversation with the line judge. Mitchell puts this one over. Butler. They tried to go to Taylor Moore, the senior middle hitter, but just did not have enough power on that swing, and the Eagles pull within 3 now here in set number 2. The libero, Kirsten Mitchell, puts it over. Warriors are able to keep it in play, but goes wide on the return attempt. Coach Van Dyke told me before the game, serve and receive is the key. If you can get the ball to that setter, they certainly have a good setter. And number 11, Rachel Steitler, who had 40 assists in their win over the Academy of Sacred Heart. She had 15 in their recent loss to Plymouth, though, as McFerrin swing. Didn't look like she got all of her hand on it. And the Warriors lead goes back up to 4. Just looking to hang on here are the Warriors about midway through this second set. The first set, the Eagles found themselves holding the lead for the majority of that set. This second set has been a bit of a, we've kind of flipped the scripts here. It's been the Warriors who have been in front, trying to hang on to this lead for the majority of the set. The Eagles again climbing their way back into it. A 3-point game now. Another one awarded to the Warriors. Kayla Beatty ignited that rally on the side with a nice set. It was Deanna Marie finishing it off, getting past the block. You better be ready if you're at the net on the Eagles side with the arm of Marie powering behind that ball. Here's Aoife Butler, just could not get anything on that serve attempt. So it'll keep it close. If you're the Warriors side, you know, you're starting to think, how do we find a way to pull away? How can we not hurt ourselves? As Blakely pops that one up, free ball sent over, diving to the deck was Van Dyke into the block, able to tool the block was Ray. And that'll trim the lead to 2 now. And an ace. They've trimmed it to 1. Van Dyke, the coach's daughter, able to get that serve over, serving into that one zone, what we call the one zone in volleyball. That far right side of the court on the Warriors side. And that time, what will tie this set up was an error on the swing from Blakely. And Van Dyke will get another. Puts this one over. Sound fundamental serve. That's out of bounds, and the Eagles take the lead here in the set for the first time off the serve of Van Dyke. 17-16 with the crowd behind them, and yet another point will be awarded to the Eagles here on the call from the UP official Brenda Germain. Timeout, Warriors. Follow Cable 15 Sports on Twitter to find out when the next game will be covered, the time the game will air, scores, and highlights. Hashtag Cable 15 Sports. Since you're already on Twitter, check out the Cable 15 Sports Instagram page to see photos of the game as well. Momentum on the side of the Eagle net right now, as they have, through effort and perseverance, and with the help of errors from the Warriors, they have not only made their way right back into this set, but taken the lead at a crucial point in the latter half of the second set. Blakely gets a swing over and puts it down. Krista Blakely. The junior for the Warriors, Coach Reed really puts an emphasis on developing his players in the offseason, and we see it with his younger players, really. Blakely, one of the 7 juniors on this roster, as the Warriors tie it right back up, 18-18 now. What will sure to be a thrilling end to this crucial second set. Deanna Marie puts a serve over and into the net. A service error, a reoccurring theme, pops back up yet again. 19-18, Eagle lead now down the stretch. McFerrin back to serve. She gets it over. Back-to-back service errors put us back into a tie. The Warriors, this will be their final match of the week, but they'll have a busy one coming up with 3 matches next week. Steitler was penalized there, and she'll look over to her coach, Mike Van Dyke, for instruction after the call there made from the down official. Pat Zaire gives the Warriors the lead at 20-19, but off the forearm of Kayla Beatty. That'll be an error in the books, and it'll knot us back up. Grace Sanders back to serve for the Eagles. Unable to put it over. Errors have been the reoccurring theme. Not much rallies these last couple of points. And yet another error there, right on cue, to tie us back up yet again. Back and forth. Who can kind of pull the weight onto their side of the net and take this momentum and take this second set, this crucial second set? Into the block was Ray. Kalaj Rice taps one over. Beatty back set. Mitchell, Steitler, cross court. Ray puts it down. 22-21. This crowd getting involved. Spoke about the very intimate, intimidating feel that this gym has. Really gives the Eagles an advantage that they certainly love. We certainly love working games here. It's always a fun one, and now a 2-point Eagle lead. And they're 2 points away from the set, and that'll cue a timeout from Coach William Reed. 23-21. Cable 15 Sports covers all of your sports action in the city of Southfield: football, baseball, basketball, swimming, volleyball, and wrestling. Coming soon, watch for our new season, our new show, Follow the Season, a behind-the-scenes look at one of your local teams with players, coaches, and schools highlighted as they reach for glory. Ray back to serve. Eagles looking to close off this second set. It's been a tight one. The Warriors led for the majority of the set, but errors eventually creeped in as Aoife Butler gets that swing down, cuts the lead to 1. It was a 25-19 first set win for the Eagles, and the Warriors will serve here. It was a good serve. Going to the 1 zone. And Jasmine Smith, the libero, on the floor. We'll need to see her impact down the stretch here. It's a tie second set. Van Dyke into the block. Taylor Moore was there, along with Deanna Marie. 2 of those key seniors for the Warriors. The 10 seniors. But Jasmine Smith, her serve sails long. It was set point Warriors, but now that'll knot us up and send us into a win-by-2 situation. The Warriors dropped a tight one to West Bloomfield earlier in the year, and they know all about these tight matches, these tight situations. Looking to pull through here, couldn't get through the block. of Van Dyke and McFerrin. And that'll award a set point to the Eagles. Their first set point of this second. Mitchell puts it in, just barely cleared the tape, and that might have helped him out. It certainly did. And they'll take the second set in prime position now. Up 2 sets to love are the Eagles. They'll switch sides. Eagles, they'll have a chance to finish it off. The Warriors, they'll look to stay in it. Effort from both sides. Set number 3 coming up here on Southfield Cable 15 Sports.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Third and potentially a final set here at Southfield Christian High School. The Eagles lead 2 sets to love as Van Dyke sends one over, and that'll put the Eagles up with an early advantage here in this first set. They couldn't take the first point in either of the first 2. They certainly have appeared to carry the energy over from the finish to the second set here into the third. But that serve sails long, and A&T will get their first serve in of this third set from number 7 Taylor Moore, the senior middle hitter. Steitler goes a back set, a slide attempt to Van Dyke, and it was a gorgeous one. And the Eagles take a 2-1 lead here in this third. Right into the block, and she's able to tool it quite nicely. Steitler now back to serve. That sophomore to sophomore connection, an exquisite one to watch between her and Van Dyke, will be for years to come at Southfield Christian. That time point awarded to the Warriors, who are led by Coach William Reed. When asked about his team's performance up to this point in the season, Coach Reed told us he feels they need to work on the reading, the recognizing, and responding to situations that are occurring on A&T's side of the net and the opponent's side of the net. If they can find a way to pick up that energy here, they'll look to push it to a 4th and hopefully a 5th. If we do make it to a 5th, it'll be a shortened set up to 15, but right now the focus is on this third set where the Eagles are looking to pull off the sweep. On the A&T side of the net it goes. Blakely taps an off-speed shot over. Sprawling defensive effort from the Eagle side of the net. Here's Beatty. Deanna Marie able to get one down the middle where she found the opening. Sliding and hitting the deck was Kirsten Mitchell. She couldn't quite get there, though. Her effort certainly rubs off. Mitchell's effort certainly rubs off on the rest of her teammates. You see it there, but the Warriors able to knot it up. Every point is big now here in a must-win set for the Warriors. Free ball sent over. It was a tough free ball to get a hold of, but the Eagles did, and they get the point. 4-3 now. It was Mitchell. Her free ball, we just spoke of her. Almost looked like it was going to be a pass tight into the net there to Kaylin Ray, but Mitchell's free ball went over and point awarded to the Eagles, and Jasmine Smith on the Warriors side sends one over. Grace Sanders. Blakely. Collage Rice went down. A call made from the up official Brenda Germain goes charged against the Warriors side. 5-3 Eagle lead now. Set number 3. We go best 3 sets out of 5. Kayla Beatty set one up to Blakely. The senior to junior connection there on the Warriors side. Beatty has had her fair share of assists tonight. Sanders just tapping one over with Steitler. Beatty, back set, Miriam Williams. We've seen that all night. Really nice location, a nice awareness of where the block is. Not hitting right into that block. Neither side has really made an impact at the net. It's been swings and errors, either getting down or into the net. Point awarded there to the Warriors. They'll take their first lead of the third set. As Mecca Duggett, the senior, they really use her height at the net. Talk about a net presence. Probably would have liked to see more out of her at the net tonight. On the Warriors side, there's Blakely, gets a swing down that Van Dyke is unable to corral the way she wanted to. Ball sent over and in play. Ray. And possibly a touch at the net there. Point awarded to the Eagles. 7-6 now. The sophomore Haley Ellington will go back to serve, one of three sophomores on the Southfield Christian roster, along with Mitchell, Steitler and Van Dyke. Here is Steitler going cross court to Ray. A nice effort there, a sparkling effort from Jasmine Smith, but point awarded to the Eagles on the call made simultaneously from Zaire and the down official Zaire and the up official Brenda Germain. Error and point to the Eagles. The Eagles are coming off their first loss of the season to Plymouth Christian. It was a straight set sweep, and Coach Van Dyke told me he feels they are progressing, but just have to get a little bit better to break into that top group. They'll face off against Plymouth Christian later on in the season right here on their home floor. That'll certainly be a highly anticipated rematch, as the Eagles now hold a 2-point third set lead at 9-7. Looking to bounce back from a straight set loss with a straight set win. Haley Ellington. An ace from the sophomore. And the Eagles are pumped up with a 3-point lead now. Their largest of the third set. Ellington. Smith off her forearms a bump. Goes cross court. And off speed action from Blakely. She really has a versatile skill set. She can bring some power on the swing, and she knows when to lay off as well. She'll go back to serve here. Serve down the middle. Mitchell was ready. Trying to go off speed was Ray, but not enough on it. Serve will go back to Blakely. They trim the lead to 1, but they give it right back to the Eagles. Back to serve will be Ray. Both of the first two sets were rather tight. The Eagles pulled away from the Warriors at the end of the first set, and they'll try to open it back up here. It's a 3-point lead with the senior Kaylin Ray serving. They'll have an opportunity to definitely try to pull away here. Beatty, and that one goes wide. A 4-point Eagle lead now. Coach Reed of the Warriors told me he came in expecting a good defensive performance from this Eagles team, and that's what we've seen tonight. We've seen a good defensive effort from both sides. A tight third set at the moment. Crucial points right now for the Warriors. They'll be awarded the point there, cutting the lead to 2. A&T looking to avoid slipping to 1-3. The Eagles are 8-1 on the season. The Warriors are currently 1-2, and it's now just a 1-point set here. Jasmine Smith back to serve. She is certainly who you want serving. She's had errors tonight, but gets a nice one over there. Steitler goes back to Ray. Did it catch the line? It did. We've seen a couple of those close calls. We'll get a replay here. Ray's excellent depth, and it was right on the end line. 14-12. Now the score here in set number 3. Kirsten Mitchell. Aoife Butler was there. They go back to Butler, but point awarded to the Eagles on the call from Germain. 15-12. The frustration has to set in on those calls, but we still see an upbeat A&T Warrior bench trying to charge on their girls, who now trail by 4. As we see Miriam Williams come onto the floor, swapping in for Aoife Butler. Mitchell, a nice flat serve over the net. It had pace and speed, and it's now a 5-point Eagle lead at 17-12. Another nice serve over from Mitchell. She's in a bit of a groove. It's 18-12. Eagles feeling like they're getting closer and closer to 25, that golden number that will give them a victory tonight if they can hold it. We haven't seen them blow a lead yet in this match. They came back from a deficit in that second set. That A&T really got off to a nice start in that second set. Did that catch the line? It did not. And this one starting to get away from the Warriors. We'll see a timeout here from William Reed trying to settle down his troops. 19-12, set number 3. You can now watch Cable 15 anywhere you have internet access. Just go to the City of Southfield's website, click on Cable 15, and hit the Cable 15 Live tab. Watch Cable 15 live on your mobile device, tablet, or computer. A 19-12 set. Eagles just 6 points away now. Make it 5. There was a touch, and it's an 8-point Southfield Christian lead as Kirsten Mitchell, always poised and stoic, looking to get her team going here. They've played very well off of her serve. She has 2 aces. Van Dyke, a swing and a connection. Just a bit too powerful there. Coach Van Dyke told us before, serve and receive is certainly the key, and trying to get the ball to their setter. Coach Van Dyke told us before the match that his favorite part about coaching is the athletes he gets at Southfield Christian. Their willingness to work as a team, the positivity and encouragement he sees from this program. They've really developed every year that he's been here. His 7th year with Southfield Christian, formerly with Portage Northern, and spent a good chunk of time in the state of Washington. 2011 was his first year with the team, as we now see a 9-point Eagle lead, 3 points away from their 9th victory of the season. Coach Van Dyke, he has 56 wins since the beginning of 2015. And they're edging closer now. This crowd looking to go home on a good note. It's a 10-point third set Eagle lead. The Warriors looking to keep up the positivity. They'll get some help there in what will be a difficult comeback effort for the Warriors. Miriam Williams back to serve. The Warriors will match up with the rival Oak Park next up. This is their first of 2 on the road. Grace Davis swung one over, and the Warriors, Coach Williams told us before the match, they really want to cut down on errors. That is just unable to juggle that one together. And it'll be match point for Southfield Christian. That one goes back, and the Eagles do it. They'll take their 9th victory of the year. The Warriors, they drop to 1-3. The obligatory handshake at the net. Great sportsmanship. The Warriors drop this one. Coach Van Dyke, they'll go back into the locker room on a happy note. It's a sweep that they take over the Warriors. Led by Kirsten Mitchell, Van Dyke, Steitler. Certainly an excellent job from the girls in blue. On behalf of Cable 15 Sports, producer Art Ford, cameraman Ricardo, Janine, thank you for watching the game of the week